Welcome back. I'm Dr. Elaine Ham, the executive in residence at Tulane School of Medicine, and we are here at BIO on the Bayou and also with Bullpen, where we get an opportunity to talk with members of the community and share what they're excited about. And with me today, I have, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background.
Thank you, Elaine. I'm Seanne Falconer. I'm the executive director of the Tulane Cancer Center. So that makes me a Tulane employee, but also Tulane's representative for cancer across the entire university.
No pressure.
I just got here in January of 2024 to get Tulane's cancer work all integrated and set up so that we are going to be headed all in the same direction according to the playbook of NCI cancer centers.
Well, and where were you beforehand, actually?
Sure. I was at UC San Diego leading their comprehensive cancer center for a few years. And then before that, 7 years in Minnesota, leading the University of Minnesota's cancer center. And prior to that, off in Boston at Harvard. So I've been in this research, clinical trials, and clinical space now for almost 20 years. Excited to be here, though.
Well, I have to say then Tulane is very lucky to have you. So
Appreciate that.
Let's highlight some of the things, like what's capturing your focus right now? Obviously cancer, but you can talk about anything besides cancer too. Depends on where you want to go with this.
Well, for me specifically, I was brought in and to take a look at everything we're doing, both on the research side and frankly on the clinical side. Tulane is at such an amazing inflection point as we've changed our clinical partners, as we've made huge investments in researchers from bench in through clinical trials and clinical research, through translation into public policy with the new Cecilia Scott Weatherhead School of Public Health. And my work also extends into policy changing decisions to bring it all back so that our research changes lives for people in New Orleans and the Gulf South. What's exciting me is all the people I'm meeting, the community groups I'm getting to know, and frankly, the researchers in each of the different areas of Tulane. And here at BIO in the Bayou, I got to meet a lot of other potential collaborators around the state and throughout the Gulf South. Each is looking for a little something different, whether that's a bench researcher who's looking for maybe a clinician in lung cancer, like our great cancer center director, Stephen Grant, who just got here right before me from Wake Forest. Or there was someone else who's looking for some basic breast cancer researchers. That's great. I have those folks. And so my job is to be a conduit, to connect the researchers and clinicians, and then also, frankly, to find those next investors once our researchers are able to take that idea or that molecule or that process ready for the next step.
I love that. I mean, you mentioned kind of community building, and that's really reassuring, I think, as for patients, of course, that when they're dealing with cancer, that they're not alone, but also for folks that are in, perhaps research on oncology, that they have access to clinical samples, or that they're able to, if you're thinking about the bedside and you're at the bench, being able to access that community must be so important. So
it absolutely is. We don't do research on people without them. It has to be an integrated process. And I love that I spend part of my time at the research bench areas, but I also spend a day a week in the clinic because I have both an MBA in nonprofit management and as well as a master's in clinical operations.
Wow. All right.
So
we are lucky to have you.
The didactic background really has fit perfectly with what this role is. So I'm really happy to be here and really excited as I'm really getting to know our community.
Yeah. Well, at Bullpen, we're all very focused on communities and connections. And you're dealing with what is one of the most challenging healthcare problems in the world, and that's cancer. What can we help you with in your fight against cancer?
Thanks. There's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, how much time do we have?
I'm looking for connections to resources and to people and professionals who can help move our mission forward, who can partner with me to talk through the nuances of ideas that my scientists and researchers are coming up with, and who can help me connect with those additional physicians and clinicians throughout the Gulf South who are interested in the new trials, the new clinical offerings that we as Tulane Cancer Center are spinning out. And frankly, that's why you go get your care at an academic health center,
Absolutely.
because you have access to the most cutting edge, newest discoveries that are as good as the current standard of care, if not better.
That's exciting. Well,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for joining us.
Thank
We
you for
really
having me.
appreciate you. Thank you so much.